Hey everyone, this is my third review for tonight. Um, I'm surprised I've never reviewed this one either. This is a recent horror film, and it's a zombie film that I actually liked from this day and age. Like, I don't like a whole lot of zombie movies that have come out lately. Yeah, World War Z, not World War Z, yeah, World War Z. That one was alright, but it's nothing compared to George A. Romero or uh, Lucio Fulci or anything like that. But this film right here, as you can read from the title above, is 13 Eerie. Now, this might go under a lot of people's radar. People might take a look at the cover and they're like, another cannibal prison movie. No, it is not a cannibal prison movie. If you want a cannibal prison movie, there's Wrong Turn 3. Wrong Turn 4 you could consider because they're in an insane asylum and they'd consider that a prison. But this movie is a zombie film, plain and simple. It's about, and it's a pretty straightforward plot too. These group of students are going to this lab that's out in the middle of nowhere, uh, and the grounds they're searching for chemicals on is the same stretch of land that was home to some of the most vile and brutal criminals ever seen, as they say in the movie. Um, and that that brought like a really cool aspect to it. Like I know it's been done before, prison zombies, but uh, it's nice to see it come back. Like this, in a way, it feels like an oldie but a goodie, and it's done in the right way. It doesn't hurt the zombie genre at all. In a way, it's kind of reviving it. Um, Brendan Fair plays in it, and I don't know what I was smoking or drinking or huffing when I reviewed Silent Night. I was saying that the detective was Brendan Fair. No, Brendan Fair was the one at the beginning of Silent Night who gets with the Christmas lights. Well, Brendan Fair is in this movie. He did this after he did Silent Night. Uh, 2013, Silent Night came out in 2012. Um, it's also got Brendan Fletcher. Some people might know him from Freddy vs. Jason. He also played in Uwe Ball's Rampage. He played in uh, Alone in the Dark. He played a small role in Alone in the Dark. He plays in this, and he plays a pretty good side character. Um, from what I remember, there is a black guy, but not being racist, but when you see a zombie film and a horror movie in general, most of the time the black guy dies. Can they at least change that? Like, at least let the minority survive. Even if it's a zombie film, let the minority survive. The zombie designs are great. So, they find out that this plant of chemicals and laboratory were on the grounds of a maximum security prison. Now, what ends up happening is some of the chemicals end up going all funky and everything, and it brings the dead prisoners back to life. And the prisoners are awesome as hell. You've got this big, burly freaking dude, shirtless, and he looks like you'd be his bitch if you were in prison with him. and he's got like a big mouth. Kind of reminds me of the mouth from Dead Hate the Living, except for a lot wider, and the lips are pulled down a little bit. Um, anyways, he's a big muscular motherfucker, and they try shooting him in the head, everything. It doesn't even phase him. Big. Um, and then we've got the smaller prisoners, like we've got a female zombie who, because she's small, she's really fast. We've got another zombie who pretty much loves sneaking up on people. So you get a variety of zombies this time around. It's not like that, ooh, shambling zombie, I'm gonna eat you. They switched it up a bit, which I appreciate. Now, they're not as fast as the ones in the Dawn of the Dead remake, which I still love that movie. The original one's better, but I still love the Dawn of the Dead remake. Um, oh, I can just show you the guy I'm talking about right on the back here. See that big motherfucker right there? That's his head. There he is. There's his full body. Shirtless throughout the entire movie, and he's like a gauntlet. He just keeps on coming after these main characters repeatedly. So, long story short, the dead end up coming back to life. We get over the top gore effects. One girl, stupid, she ends up running into the woods instead of staying with her group to get away from the zombies. Never go in alone when you're in a zombie movie. I mean, it's 2013. People, have you never even seen a zombie movie? Uh, so, anyways, she ends up going into the woods, and she gets caught on some tree branches, and she's like stuck. And a zombie ends up coming up behind her, and the girl's like, "Help me, help me!" And here's how brutal some of the stuff is. Uh, the zombie bites the finger, but not the whole finger, but bites it to where the fingernail slides off. And I'm just like, ugh. Fingernail mutilation is it's on par with the eyeball mutilation. So, yeah. On the back it says, "Welcome to Death Row." Um, Catherine Isabel plays one of our three main characters. Our three main characters are Brendan Fair, Brendan Fletcher, and Catherine Isabel. Catherine Isabel is like the computer whiz of the group. She's trying to figure out what's going on, and the girl who got her fingernails eaten, she ends up crawling back to the hut where Catherine Isabel is at, ends up bleeding to death. And we already know if you're bit by a zombie, you're not dead. You're undead. So, she wakes back up in all of her zombie glory. I love the classic no pupils in the eyes. Uh, some of the zombies have that. Um, she's kind of fast, and uh, Catherine Isabel, doing her survival instinct stuff, ends up pushing pushing like a shelf on top of the zombie and crawling up to the roof, and she ends up creating a chemical that when mixed with water uh, ends up becoming really explosive. So she drops it, takes a minute, but it does end up exploding, and I'm not sure if she dies or not. Not Catherine Isabel, but the zombie. I can't remember if the zombie dies right then and there or ends up dying slowly. Um, then you've got a scene that's really reminiscent of George A. Romero's not Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. Um, Getting confused with the zombie titles there. Um, where this guy is ripped apart limb from limb, and his guts end up going everywhere. Now, granted, it's not as gory as Day of the Dead, but the gore that is there will make any gorehound happy. Um, the climax is pretty much um, it sets it up for a sequel. That's all I'm gonna say. But the climax I thought was really cool. It was a face-off between Mono y Mono, this big motherfucker, against Brendan Fair. Now, granted, in reality, if this was real, Brendan Fair would have gotten his ass kicked, but it's a movie. Uh, so he uses his instincts to set up a trap. And I'm like, okay, cool. Feels like a video game. A really good zombie video game. Not that Resident Evil 5 bullshit. Just so everybody knows, I love the original Resident Evils. I have nothing wrong with them. Resident Evil 5 can suck a dick. And Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil Revelations I heard was awesome though, so I'll have to check that one out. But this feels like an actual survival horror game, this last half. And I just had a fun vibe from this film. Like, my uncle bought me a copy of this because he wanted me to see it that badly. Uh, so he got himself a copy and me a copy, and I love the film. I really do. I enjoyed the characters. Some of the dialogue was pretty funny. Um, Brendan Fair does a great job. Brendan Fletcher does a great job. Catherine Isabel, gorgeous and does a great job too. Um, she most people know Catherine Isabel from playing Ginger in the Ginger Snaps movies. I've seen the second one only, and no, 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 no. That is not how you do a werewolf movie. I'll have to check out the first and third one. This is not rated, so yeah, it's got some language in it. Definitely hardcore on the gore. Um, there is suggestive themes or sexual themes hinted at in the movie, but no real sexual content. It's a Canadian film, from what I'm told. It says on the back Canada. Uh, but anyways, what do I give this film? I give it an 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I have a good feeling in my guts, no pun intended, that a lot of zombie fans out there will definitely enjoy this. Don't let it go under your radar, because I guarantee if you grew up loving Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Zombie, Zombie 2, Zombie 3, Zombie 2 being Dawn of the Dead, um, and House by the Cemetery, The Beyond, so on and so on, you'll definitely enjoy 13 Eerie. It's in the vein of those movies. So, all I can say is, enjoy it. You can get it real cheap. If you live in the Pennsylvania area, you can get it down at a place called Out of the Ordinary for I think $10. It's well worth the $10. So go for it. Anyways, I'm out. I give it an 8 out of 10. And this is Psychopath1c signing off. Peace.